Just like any human being, I was also keen to make my own mark in the world, to find that edge and a competitive advantage. And silly me, I thought that traveling to Australia from Fiji at the tender age of 19 on my own to pursue my ambition was the answer. What I have since learned is that to truly understand the meaning of success, it wasn't an external journey that I needed to take, but an internal one. I had to learn the hard way how to mind my own mind. And now I want to share with you my own learnings from a place of empowerment and lived experience. To provide you with some context about my history, high performance has been in my DNA. I was disciplined, hardworking, focused, and highly motivated. I'm a Fiji-born Indian. My parents, like most Indian parents, expected me to excel. But since they were teachers, those expectations were on steroids. So you may be able to empathize with my obsession around harnessing the power of my mind. Academically, I did very well. I was the dux of both my primary and high school, and I graduated with honours from a prestigious university here in Australia. Now, this is not to brag, but to help you appreciate my journey, because I used to believe that hard work and dedication were the most important ingredients for progress.
I hear you, sister.
But life had some more lessons to teach me. At the age of 28, I found myself fighting for my life. I was in the ICU because my lungs had collapsed and I was close to death. This event became the catalyst for my search and journey into understanding mind and body connections. Over the years, I have been hospitalized 12 times. These setbacks have forced me to change internally because that was the only way I could continue to achieve success without compromising my emotional well-being. The reason I feel so passionately about this concept of mind your mind is because despite all these external successes and accolades, internally I failed miserably at it. If it wasn't for my first near-death experience and the many episodes that followed, I wouldn't have walked down this pathway of discovery of myself and my purpose. We hear a lot about the importance of inner reflection, but sometimes it's hard to know how to do it because we get caught up in conforming to what external society expects us to be.
Pretending to be someone I am not.
We get stuck in people-pleasing, knowingly or unknowingly. The projection of that external self becomes more important than the real self. And that's because standing out is scary for how we're going to be perceived, especially when it's not in our control. My hope is that the vulnerabilities that I'm about to share around my story stirs your inner voice to change and helps you to become the authentic self that you want to be. The mind is a complex and powerful tool, capable of great things.
Because I have a dream.
But it can also be easily swayed by outside forces. Our hopes, fears, and desires can all influence our decisions, often without us even realizing it. That is why it's so important to be aware of our inner thoughts and feelings and to learn to befriend and understand them. Otherwise, we risk letting our lives be dictated by factors beyond our control. I pretended a lot because I was seeking validation and doing what was expected of me, what my parents wanted for their daughter, conforming to teachers' expectations. Then came the boyfriend's notions of what a girlfriend needs to be.
I did not say that.
But you thought it.
This general idea of what a good Indian girl looks like. The list goes on. It was burdensome to manage myself for other people. What I learned was that I was trying to please everyone around me and I forgot what my true self needed. It did come at a cost to my mindset, my energy, and my overall well-being. I was not really listening to my inner voice because the echoes of others' expectations were louder. But lying in that hospital bed for a prolonged period of time, my thoughts did become very loud and clear. My heart was aching, and crying was not enough to release the agony. It was too much to bear. How I had neglected myself and where I had failed to care for myself. How fake I had become. These were now showing up as dark, intense self-hatred talk. I also sunk into my own pity party, thinking how certain individuals had taken advantage of me and how I had allowed myself to be treated. But then a decision had to be made around self-care. I really had to mind my mind. And that meant I needed to release all the stereotypes and social stigma on getting professional help.
Do you think I'm crazy?
Of course not.
I used to believe that normal, successful people did not seek support for their mental health. Especially coming from a traditional Indian upbringing, you don't talk about your feelings of abuse or hurt. Instead, you nicely sweep it under the carpet to look pretty and stable.
And you have to be nice to them because you're Indian.
What I've learned from working with my clients here in Australia, Western society is no different. It is still a struggle to own up to our own internal issues. Externally, we pretend to come across as okay, but the internal rhetoric is something else. I had perfected the art of pretension. For too long, I couldn't admit to myself that I was disempowered through fears of others' judgments, anxiety of what I would find out about myself if I did get real, and how I would cope if I changed. Would I be accepted if I started saying no? Would I be approved? Would I be validated for my real beliefs and life choices? How do I stand up for myself? I needed help, but I was so ashamed of not knowing where to begin. My boundaries were extremely weak. My full sense of accomplishments was seemingly hollow. I was unable to have any control over my emotions. I would lash out on people that were closest to me.
You're holding that pen like a knife again.
Over the years, being part of the medical system, I learned more about its own judgments and labels through numerous episodes of health failures. Each time I was taken to the ICU, I would question myself on why I was there because I could not understand what I had done wrong. When my good-intentioned Fiji Indian parents would give me a long list of good food to eat, I'd want to scream and say, I know about the vegetables and diet. Please leave me alone. Was it really their concern for my health that was aggravating me or something else? I got obsessed about others' opinion of me. Work colleagues would comment, oh, Rish, when you get sick, you get really sick. Questions would be asked about my alcohol consumption, and health professionals would have deep concern in their voices. My inner sarcasm would say, yeah, sure, doc. I just drank my way to the ICU. Party down! But no. Here too, I wanted to hold on to some distinguished prize of winning the Best Patient of the Year award. I had to be a good Indian girl after all. She doesn't question authority or state her boundaries when they are being crossed. These louder inner dialogues were not helping me. They were just fanning the flames of self-hate. I laid there in shame instead. After 10 years of navigating this condition, I have finally been told that I actually have a genetic disorder.
Come again?
And I had been beating myself up for something I didn't have much control over. I'm still on the path of recovery, but it was minding my mind that helped me to realign to my true self. It helped me to make better informed decisions. It helped me to become assertive. It helped me to question opinions of people who were in authority. It helped me to clarify my own criticisms, biases, and judgments. It helped me become vulnerable enough to ask for help when I needed it rather than let my pride get in the way. When I learned to communicate with myself, I found that communicating with others became much easier.
Women, they have minds and they have souls as well as just hearts, and they've got ambition and they've got talent as well as just beauty. And I'm so sick of people saying that love is just all a woman is fit for. I'm so sick of it.
So Mind Your Mind program is my gift to you. Together, we can change the story of our lives. Let's do an exercise, and now it's your turn.